Deal with on Monday. The New Haven Road Race is going to kick off one of the biggest road races in the state. Now, seasoned runners, you may know what you're doing when you're buying sneakers and how to take care of, you know, your feet, your calves, and your ankles. But for people just starting out in the running world, or even those who just want to walk for exercise, there's some things you need to consider when buying a running shoe. Joining us now is Preston Ranton from Sound Runner in Branford to tell us all the do's and don'ts of buying a running shoe. And I'm so glad you're here, Preston. You recognize Preston from being interviewed at other road races that we've done on live broadcast, but we're glad to have you here in the studio. You know, I used to walk into, back in the days of video stores, I used to walk into Blockbusters and I would end up leaving in utter confusion because there were too many choices. Right. I had the same thing happen to me in shoe stores now. There's just so much to choose from. They all fit slightly differently. It's all, well, how should I begin? How should a newbie go about this?
Well, one, I go somewhere where people know what they're talking about and they can guide you through the process of buying the right running shoe.
So right away that takes you away from the big box stores where you're pretty much on your own, grabbing the boxes off the shelves. I know. So a runner store, okay, that makes sense.
Right, and you know, so running shoes specifically, and you know, they're just called running shoes. We fit people that walk, run, go to the gym in them. They're catered towards different types of body types, foot types, and take into account any kinds of injuries you may have suffered and at some point in your life, and really do a good job at addressing the needs of the foot.
So what are the different types of shoes that address the different types of issues?
Well, it used to be, there was 3 separate categories. It's kind of blossomed into, you know, 4 or 5 now.
Yes, I've noticed that. And I've had big fails on my last 2 attempts to buy shoes. Yeah. Big fails. I used to think that how hard can it be, but I got a pair recently that was so tight up here in the front that it felt like it was cutting off my circulation, but it fit. It was the right size. So how do you handle that?
Well, it's about trying different things on. You know, when we have someone come in and get fit for shoes, we'd like to take them through a certain process where, you know, we'll measure the foot length and width. We'll also have an understanding of how each shoe fits. You know, and that's very important because everyone's feet are going to be in a different shape. Some people have, you know, a squared toe box. Some people are a little bit more rounded, and each shoe is going to have a different shape to it.
All right, let's talk about general rules. Should the shoe be tight-ish? Should it be loose-ish? What do you want to go for in terms of the tightness of the fit?
Well, we generally recommend about a thumb's width from the end of the toe to the front of the toe box. And that just gives room for your foot to be able to splay out, and that allows your foot to provide the natural support that it's used to giving your body.
So what I described to you earlier, where I'm feeling, way too much pressure right here, right in this part of the shoe up front, that's wrong, right? I shouldn't be feeling that.
No, you shouldn't. You should be comfortable inside your shoe, and you should be able to feel like you can move your feet around. You know, obviously you don't want to slide from side to side, you know, but you know, when we look at a lot of these shoes, that's what that midfoot wrap is for. That's what's going to support your foot. It's okay to have a little bit of motion up in the front. You know, and the other thing is that, you know, shoes come in different widths too.
Yes.
And that'll widen up the platform if you need a little bit more underneath the foot.
Yes, width definitely doesn't get the respect it deserves. No. And this is where the professional fitting aspect of it would really come in handy, because like I said, I'm feeling it. 2 pairs of shoes I bought recently, they're utter waste of money, you know, and these things can run into some serious money if you want to get decent shoes. If perhaps you do get some soreness, you do get some other issues with your feet, you got some other things that you brought here to show us.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, one of the big things that people deal with when they're running, or even just everyday life, is plantar fasciitis. You know, so we have many people come in every day, and you know, those are things that we want to address. Make sure you're comfortable while you're in your activity.
This unusual looking device here.
So that's the stick. It's a self-massage tool, so people are dealing with, you know, muscle soreness in the lower extremities, and then also.
So it's like something you roll.
You roll, yep, and it makes it so you don't have to go pay for a massage every time you need a massage.
Felt kind of good. I can keep this. Yeah. And there's a little foot there.
Yeah,
I can use this as a pointer now. And what is this here?
What's this is the Strasberg Sock. It's meant to help stretch the plantar fascia out, or the Achilles area, if you're experiencing plantar fasciitis or Achilles tendonitis. And you know what happens at night is that those tendons constrict, and you know, if anyone has any pain when they wake up in the morning, and they put their foot right down on the ground and it's excruciating and they can't walk, you know, something like that, or, you know, an insert, or the foot rubs right over here.
There's a lot to think about, you know, and the field just keeps getting more crowded. There's some tips to keep in mind as you go to the store to try to fight this confusion. Thumbs width at the toes, proper support, proper placement, absence of sensation, of course, what we were talking about before. If it feels wrong, it's probably wrong.
Right.
Right? And then get fit by a specialist. And that's where things change. There's so many stores these days where people go to get deals on shoes, and you're basically left on your own with the boxes piled up on the shelves. So you say, well, I'm a size 11, let me grab an 11, you put it on. To me, it always feels fine in the store, and then something happens between the store and home. It doesn't fit anymore.
Yeah, and I mean, the other thing is that a lot of these specialty stores will allow you to go out for a run or do your activity in them, see how it feels when you're doing it, and you can come back and make sure you're in the right shoes. So.
Now you're really on to something. So. Fantastic idea. Preston, Dick, are you running the race?
I'm not. I have a bunch of guys at the store that are going to go
A bunch of guys at the store, and a bunch of your shoes that you sold, I guess. I'm guessing going to be featured. All right. Preston, thank you very much.